Hello, everyone. It's Saturday morning. We're here with Kim Strickland, and Kim has been having a ball with us at the Vettius Valens Translation Group. We are currently on the section about the twining of planets together, and so we were reading about the Saturn and Moon. And one of the things in the Moira Press translation is he says Saturn and the Moon bring purification through hatred. So we're going to talk about that. Okay, so what were you saying, Kim?
Well, the Riley's translation adds a little something to it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and I want people to really uh, understand me. Purification through hatred is not uh, carrying out your hatred. What it is listing all the things. It's a big Chiron deal. You know, things that have traumatized you, the things that you hate. There's things about our society now that I just can't stand. I hate it. Now, purification, in my mind, and the way I want to express it, is not purification because I'm filthy. It's not purification because I'm a sinner. It's not purification because I'm evil. It's purification, getting rid of all the things that hold you back. Okay. And so that you can, drop it, drop that hatred. So purification through hatred really is dropping all the things that stand in your way,
Mm.
whether it's your mother, your daddy, your, brother, or Democrats or Republicans or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
it could be religion. You could hate religion.
Mm.
You got to get rid of it, kind of a deal. Because, like, I always thought religion was just in my business all the time. You know,
Mm.
and so it's a dark subject, but it's really positive if you put it in these terms.
Yeah. Well, I think with Saturn and the Moon together, whether it be by transit or natally, there can be a cleansing. Like, for example, a lot of people who have Saturn Moon aspects don't eat a lot of different foods. Like, they'll be like, I hate potatoes or I hate an eggplant or whatever. And so they don't eat those foods. And we could look at that and say, like, oh, well, your diet is kind of weird and maybe you have an eating disorder or something like that. Like a person could say that, or we could say you have a very pure diet, right? Because
Mm.
you hate eggplant and you maybe hate sugar or something like that. So maybe we get a very pure formation because of that
Right,
hatred. Is
right. But purification, the only reason that I'm not better is because subconsciously I have things hanging on. And any kind of person that's involved with the occult or Masons or the illusion mysteries or even the gospel, you baptize, die, and then you rise again, you to a new person.
mm,
And so Jesus says, if somebody asks you for your okay, this is what it is. If they slap you, giving your other cheek.
what?
Yes, it says if a person asks for your coat, give them your coat. In other words, you're not holding on to anything that
Interesting.
wouldn't make you powerful.
Huh.
It-
Interesting.
I hope that clears it up a little bit.
Well, no, I've been thinking about this because I actually have Saturn going over my moon by transit. Like my moon's at 14 Pisces and Saturn's at what, like 15 Pisces right now. And it's like I have learned to purify the things, like in order to keep a clean environment at the Moyer Press School, like if I don't like something, I have to let it go. You know what I mean? As opposed to like keep it around and not liking it because the school needs to be a clean, pure place. Like, so I actually am learning to do that. Like, I'm like, I accidentally trauma dumped on the XY show and I hate that show because I made a mistake or whatever. Take it down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's like don't leave it up. If you don't like something, purify it. Get rid of it. As opposed to just like you're saying,
Yeah.
hanging on and
Right.
then, you know.
Right. Right. And so I want to talk. It's a positive thing, even though the words sound negative.
Hmm.
That's all I'm trying to say. It makes you more powerful because you got rid of all that emotional baggage. You got rid of your anger. You got rid of your prejudice. Some people are, on Facebook, they just like to comment because they're prejudiced.
Hmm.
That's my opinion, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I guess hatred is an we see that as a negative thing, right? Like you're not supposed to have any mean feelings. But this is where the malefics are kind of malefic, but that they what we're turning it around here to say it can be a positive thing to have a malefic feeling. Like it's like, hatred isn't necessarily a great feeling to have, but if you're going to have it, be purified through that feeling, right? Like don't just
That's
sit in
that.
the
There,
feeling.
there you go. Yep. And this is ultimate remedial work.
Mm,
This is ultimate remedial work.
wow.
Now, I'm more of a fatalist or determinist. Okay, but uh, even Zeus himself respect the fates, but that doesn't cause him uh, to stop being who he is,
Mm,
or wants to be.
mm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, what would be the alternative? Like, speaking of Zeus, like if somebody had Jupiter on the moon, what's the alternative there? They don't hate people at all, and so they're maybe not pure. That
Um,
would be like somebody who does drinks and smokes and, parties and stuff like that, which isn't bad, but it's definitely not pure, right?
yeah, but religion overstates purity in the wrong way. They're trying to throw guilt at you.
Hmm,
They're
interesting.
throw, they're trying to like even if you go to the Genesis 1, when they ate of the apple, or not fruit, and God, uh, yeah, Elohim said, "Who told you you were naked?" And to me, religion makes you feel naked all the time.
Mm, wow.
This is my experience now. Uh,
So, what do you
that,
think the best process is to purify if you hate something? Like, what is the process?
well, it's probably trying to say reverse psychology here, because a lot of people in astrology only look at astrology in the positive. See, but if you go with Valens or Bonetti or Ficini or any of those guys, you according if you got a reading from them, you just might have a screwed up life,
Hmm.
you know. But modern astrology, it's everybody's every, Jesus loves everybody,
Hmm.
and oh, we could do anything we want. And, oh, you know, I I hope I'm not insulting anybody, but
Well, I think this is a cool turnaround because
religion don't work for me.
yeah. Well, and I think this is a cool turnaround because I think often we think of a moon Saturn as this like terrible aspect to have in a natal chart or even by transit. And I think Valence kind of one of the remedial things he does is he turns things around to say them very eloquently, to say like
Yeah,
purification through hatred is
right,
it's taking what we would see as a bad aspect and saying it has definitely some good reasons or traits or
right.
uses or whatever. So
You're working with a philosophy of remedial work,
yeah.
okay? And all you can do is try.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
all you can do.
and I don't know if I colored that translation because Because there'll be annoyances and trouble through being apart. Saturn and the moon bring hatred, mourning, lamentation. Wait, this is up higher in the, okay, this combination can magnify the gifts of conflict, especially purging and purification through hatred. Riley says, um, it causes association with the great gifts and the discomfiture of enemies. So maybe he's saying there's gifts with being uncomfortable with your enemies. Maybe that was Riley's version of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I
You
wonder what
could
the
say that.
gifts,
Yeah.
I wonder what the
I
gifts are
like
of
your
being uncomfortable. Go ahead.
I like your interpretation better because I can understand it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm learning
It's too
to
ambiguous.
I'm learning to see both translations as beautiful, but we have had a lot of talks with the ASL interpreters at the school, and we're looking at things theoretically, and there's something called hermeneutic tension, which is how much you flesh out the what you see linguistically and how much you leave it just kind of sparse. And I think Riley has a more sparse translation, and mine's more expanded, and so there's less hermeneutic tension in mine, I guess you'd call it. But
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I prefer
Right.
my translation as well. I mean, not trying to, I'm sure
Yeah.
that,
No, no, you praise yourself all you want.
well,
You know.
it's not even like self-praise, but I just actually prefer my translation. Like, it's not like I'm trying to be like, mine's the best. I just have, can you ever just prefer the thing that you did because you like it better? It's not like, I feel bad for, like saying that because Riley is an awesome guy and we even emailed and everything like that. And like, thank
He
God
don't
there's his translation. I'm not trying to purify through hate
no, no,
Riley because I
he
love,
don't pay your bills. You pay your bills.
that's true.
No. I mean, really seriously, you know.
Yeah,
Like but I more take astrology from the foundations, like just the chart, the way it's created. You got your ascendant, midheaven, descendant, I see. And let me ask you this: when does the astrological day start?
would it be at midnight or would it be at sunrise?
Yeah, on the descendant,
Why is that?
because that's when they could see the stars.
Oh, interesting. When the sun's on the descendant, they can see everything. That's really,
Yeah, yeah. And the way we've got our ephemeris and all that stuff, we could see on the other side of the world.
yeah, yeah,
And like my Pluto's on the other side of the world.
yeah.
It's in the ninth house.
Uh,
Okay. And so really I'm at midnight. Okay. So I've come through, or I traveled through the third quadrant and getting ready to go into the first wait a minute. Okay, the quadrants, descendant quadrant, and then you got after the IC, what do you call that? Uh includes the first, second, and third house. So my life, if I interpret it right, according to just that, is that I will be going through communication values and having my own right to exist.
hmm, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
so I'm thinking of one of the purifications I've had through hatred that's astrological. Are you ready for this?
mm-hmm.
I hate waffling house systems. Like I hate dealing with like it's not, I just hate when, like, I saw a speaker once and he used all the house systems at the same time, and I was like, I am horrified by this. Like, I'm like, I hate this. And so, like, I totally now am a whole sign houser only, and partially it's because it's the purest, simplest house system. It's not, it's just pure. And it's like,
Right,
I've
right.
gotten there because of, I hate the waffling house systems.
Well, the only reason I go with Pofree, okay, is because uh and I'm not totally convinced, okay. The whole signs have some validity, okay, but I don't have any children, natural children. And so that would be Mars on the 5th house, not the 6th house. Or maybe it does. I don't know. I'm still, working that out. But
Yeah.
yeah, but what
So your
the,
chart just doesn't reflect, like in whole sign, it just doesn't reflect your life, basically.
it does though. But I go I go with the poultry too. So I'm waffling. You hate me.
Yeah. But see, like, but I actually don't hate anything. Like, I have a natal moon square Neptune, like, unobstructed by Saturn. Like, I actually love everything. And like, just like this transit that I'm having is like making me like have to notice what I don't like so that I can clean things up. Like, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you don't have a moon Saturn natally, do you?
It's it could be close to 30 degrees.
Okay, that's not really an aspect. But like, what have you ever met anyone with a moon Saturn conjunction? I don't know.
Yeah, Neptune.
What?
No, wait a minute. What it was your question again?
Have you met someone with a moon Saturn conjunction?
No, I haven't met.
I don't think I have either. I think I don't really know that personality type by
No.
experience.
Right, right.
Do you remember
The
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 last
whole
time?
point the whole point I'm trying to make is that um going to the get a recipe ain't gonna cut it. I mean, this is some real esoteric philosophy, hermetic stuff, you know. And uh all I want to know is I just want to know the unfiltered truth. That's my problem.
Mhm.
That's just the way my astrology is. Um, See, like my mother, uh, I was a dry birth.
What's that
Okay,
mean?
now uh, I could see some of that in my chart, but only because I know about it, you know, and
Wait, what's a dry birth?
that's where the embryonic fluid already flushed out, and you're still there.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
That would be very
yeah. They
bad
they
moon
they
dry
put
birth.
her under. Yeah, they put her under, and then later on, they got me out, and she woke up, and they say, "Well, congratulations, you're a little boy," and she didn't really experience the birth.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there was just something not going on it when I was born that was right.
Huh. Well,
Yeah,
that's definitely not reflected in who you are today. I was gonna make the
yeah.
joke, but no.
Oh, I know. But see, like, um, you can take a retrograde planet, okay, and really they're hindered, okay, and so I have a reading where we can learn how to activate them things to understand. You got to understand the 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 retrograde, and then we can, in a remedial way, say, well, this is what it would be if it was direct.
Hmm. Hmm. I
Right?
love it. I've never met an astrologer who made readings like you, who have like these like idea like we can read your retrograde planets or like your part of Nemesis or your asteroid. Like I've never met anyone. It's always like natal chart readings, transit readings. Like, but you have these like specific readings. I think it's so cool.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
hated.
yeah.
I'm not trying to be purified from your readings.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
but it wasn't Nostradamus that gave the Queen of France uh, that reading about her husband dying. It was some other guy, and it starts with a G, and I can't think what it was
Hmm.
because I thought it was Nostradamus. It wasn't.
Oh wow.
It,
Did you get in trouble
somebody
for it?
else. I'm sorry.
Did you get in trouble for it?
No, no, you know, and
Okay.
she lost all her kids, and now is that a placebo effect?
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Did
let's
you,
look at
did you
Saturn
think it
moon.
is?
Can we look at Saturn moon in different houses and like what that would create hatred of? Like, what if we had a
Okay,
moon Saturn in the first house? What would the hatred be there and what would the purification be?
people won't allow me to be myself, I guess.
Okay, yeah, like you
If
hate
they
any,
fight against my Mars.
so like you would hate anyone who didn't let you be yourself or let you be emotional or something like that.
Well, you probably are a slave. You might be a you could be um what do you call it? Uh Mongoloid.
A mongoloid.
Yeah, in other words, you're not you have limitations of being yourself or limitations on your feelings.
Yeah, interesting. Huh. So okay, then what would be a moon Saturn conjunction in the second house?
Okay. See, we think of second houses, possessions and things like that, but that's a house of self-value. It's ruled by Taurus and Venus. And so um, you can't seem to find your own values or something.
Hmm. What if it's somebody
I'm
who
guessing at that one.
What if it's somebody who hates stuff like they're not a hoarder because they only like a few things, like they hate
Yeah.
things and so they only have a
Oh
few
yeah. Yeah.
things.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And when you rather deal with.
Say that again, you froze.
Oh, uh, yeah. When you die, you got all that crap that they have to deal with.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah. Like if it was a hoarder aspect, like maybe you hoard things because you hate people, that could be Saturn moon. Well, what about Saturn moon in the ninth house? That might be that religious hatred.
uh, Wonder if it's okay. Let's do it like this. What if it's a quincux feeling?
Hmm.
Would that Saturn and Moon be sort of like a quincux? You're limited with Saturn, and your feelings are limited.
Hmm.
Because I take it as the Moon is something to do with your feelings or your mother.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. Yeah, I suppose somebody with a
Yeah.
moon Saturn could like hate their mother and then be purified through that process.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I've had to deal with my mother.
Oh yeah,
Sorry, yeah.
you love your mother.
All the YouTube people know about me now.
You live with your mother. You love your mother.
I do, but some things get on your nerves.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, I just think, okay, let's look at Saturn in this astrological remediation to see what
Yeah,
purification through hatred might even look like. What are
there
Saturn
you go.
properties?
There you go.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, now, those that are watching now, y'all like and subscribe, okay?
Okay. Okay, so Saturn
And
vibration.
comment.
I like that about you. You're good at the like and
Yeah.
subscribe. Okay. So Saturn
Well, that's how I know I'm doing any good.
vibration. You're doing a lot of good. Okay. So Saturn vibrations are tightening, constricting, dense, heavy, pressurizing, stressing, constrictive, so limiting. So we'd say when you have Saturn on your moon, you're supposed to limit yourself. You're supposed to focus your energies. You're supposed to be constricted. So like maybe a person with Saturn moon is supposed to purify, and that's the first impetus is like you're not supposed to spill out all over the place. Like, don't they say Saturn moon people have like very few friends, but the friends they do have they're really deep with?
Yeah, I really haven't dealt with the Saturn moon people.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know what. Yeah, I
Uh,
don't relate to them.
well, taking the Saturn needs to create boundaries, um, evolve and improve, have the internal feeling of separation from another.
Yeah.
So maybe This is maybe it's like when we
Okay, but
get somebody, we just put boundaries up.
yeah, yeah. Well, I want to say this. I know it might be disagreeable to a lot of people, but I take Saturn as a malefic or malefic. Okay, it's there's no good in it. You
No.
know, you can make some good out of it, but in astrology, it's malefic. Same way as Mars. You can't make Mars any better than what it is. It's you're always going to be messed up in that area, and
Huh.
that's the remedial part. I,
Yeah.
I would look at it now as that if I looked at my chart, I'd say, you're a person that will go through much hatred.
Interesting.
Right.
Well,
I, I'm not modern way to the nth degree.
yeah, yeah. Well, I agree with you. It's like putting boundaries up is not fun. Like it doesn't look like no one's like, "Oh, like," and then it was so awesome. My friend put a boundary on me. That was so cool.
Yeah. Well,
People
yeah,
don't
you have
like
to have
boundaries.
boundaries, but I don't relate it to I think I that would be something uh second house and Phoenix.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it says,
Yeah.
um, you know, problematic presentations of Saturn, blockages, feeling stifled, being unable to express oneself, being too cold. Like maybe people who have moon Saturns are too hateful and so they purify too much. They're like too cold.
That
Maybe that's
that
the
are
malefic part.
but just like you said there, they could be where they're not emotionally uh expressive.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that's something I've seen with moon Saturn people is like they're emotionally kind of stifled or
Yeah.
unexpressed and
They're not doing anything wrong. They're you know, hey, that's just the way they are. Well, let's try to make a good reason out of it. How can this okay, I'm born with this, so let's make something good out of it.
yeah, yeah, I
You
agree.
know,
Well,
you know,
that's where purification through hatred is a remedy. It's saying there's some good reason to hate people, or if you do hate people, like you have a moon Saturn, then use it for this good thing.
yeah, yeah. Well, there's a lot of things I just don't understand, but why is evil so rampant? I don't understand. I mean, and we got all these intelligent people out there. I mean, you got Christians, you got even Hindus and all these religious folks, and they don't fight against evil.
Hmm.
They don't go before God or whoever you want to say is whatever and say, we need this destroyed. Lead us not into temptation.
Well, with a
Thy,
moon Saturn person,
thy
maybe
kingdom
they would
come.
hate evil and then purify themselves through that process.
And they're also doing good to the world because you're taking care of your tribe.
Huh. So how do you define evil? Like, how do you know if something's evil?
Man, I've looked that up several times, and the dictionary, Google, and all this, it doesn't satisfy me because it doesn't express the emotion of evil.
Hmm.
Okay, um, does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I have something to say about that. Well, I always think about how evil is live spelled backwards. Like it's anti-live. Like whatever's evil is not
Yeah,
biotic. It doesn't give you life.
right,
It takes life or it makes you
right,
live less or whatever.
right. In our Western culture, we started out in the Babylonian era uh, with Zoroastrianism, which is a dualistic religion. Okay, Christianity is a dualistic religion. Okay, same as Muslim and so uh, I'm exploring that for myself. I mean, uh, I'm a hermeticist, but I'm not a religious person. But there's dualism. The only reason I know dualism is there is time.
Hmm.
I mean, but there's something about the chart. Just think, Jupiter doesn't go any faster, nor does he go any slower. He's going to show up at the right time next year.
So what is dualism exactly? Is it like,
Dualism is where there's uh like the simplistic thing would be good and bad. Um
so it's like
uh
binary thinking?
yes, I would say so. Oh
Interesting.
yeah, that sounds good to me. But
Okay.
evil, if you get evil into the Googles and the descriptions and the Websters and everything, it doesn't describe that feeling of evil. And like war is evil,
Mm.
okay? And uh, uh, hatred can be evil if you carry it out. I'm trying to get rid of evil.
Mm.
Okay, that's a dualistic thought.
Yeah.
But Zoroastrianism, Mithricism, even astrology or astrotheology is a dualistic thought.
Hmm. Maybe
Now,
dualism is evil.
uh, who told you you were naked in the Genesis story? And then too, we were promised, oh, you won't die, kind of a deal. And all I know is that there's too many comparisons. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it makes some sense. I mean, I think, like, am I naked in the boom? That's nakedism. No, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like, am I naked or not? That's dualism. Maybe
yeah.
I had one sock on. You never know.
Well, what's the difference between a spirit and a human?
Mm, a human is encased in a body formation.
Okay, a spirit can't defecate. He can't defecate. I don't know how the aliens in the spaceships defecate, but a pure spirit does not defecate.
Okay, so that's a very puristic view of spirit, but I mean, which I can see what yeah, like the human form is more gross and more base than a spirit form, that's for sure.
But we are here and we rule. We are in the material plane, and that's just the way it is. And so you have to thrive in it.
Mm.
Okay. And Charmin is our. You didn't get that, did you? Okay.
No, it froze. Say that again. Say it again.
Is our greatest asset in the material plane.
Wait, what
I think
is?
you're breaking up.
Yeah.
Charmin
Charmin?
is a
Oh, that you
toilet
mean
paper.
toilet paper is our greatest asset. That's so funny. That's so
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, really.
But what if
Yeah.
I hated toilet paper and so I just never used it? Would that be pure or not?
I don't think Shane will hang around anymore.
That's true. Maybe he's a defecationist and he likes that. Well, no, I don't know.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
See, now I hate this show because it's not pure enough. So no, I won't share a show. But yeah.
Well, I appreciate people in the audience that are just listening to this crazy old guy, but I just never accept uh, somebody saying something to me and not double checking it.
Okay.
In other words, why do we have an IC? How did they come up with that? Uh, You know, how did astrologers come up with that?
Yeah, yeah. I bet a librarian with a Moon Saturn conjunction in the third house would hate when people don't cite things, and in that way they would purify the collection. I'm getting good at this. I can delineate Moon Saturn in any house from a
Yeah,
purification
there you go,
perspective.
there you go, there you go. Just but you know,
What would be the opposite of like Moon Jupiter conjunction? Like what does that look like? I guess we could read Valens. Let's see.
mine's square.
Oh, you have a moon square Jupiter. Okay, that's so he says Moon and Jupiter are good together. They help in acquiring large numbers of belongings, bringing both bodily and cosmic occurrences together. Jupiter and the Moon can produce remarkable leaders and assistants from women. They find good fortune through the home, family, and children. They are worthy of gifts and honor. People entrust them with loans. They borrow money only to find a hidden stash. This combination is productive and useful. So the Moon Jupiter people don't need to purify because they're having such a good time.
I guess so. Yeah. But see, I mine's squared, so I have to work hard.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe you surge into awesome moments when I never think of everyone thinks of like squares as bad, but I always think of them as surging. You know, when you have a transit to your
Yeah.
square, it kind of like
Right.
get a lot of that energy. You know, you have your
Right.
Jupiter in Cancer, right?
Yeah, mine's in Cancer and in the Libra, you know.
Yeah. Your moon's
Yeah.
in Libra in the 11th. Do you have a lot of friends
It's
because
really
of
on the cusp, depending on if you go porphyry or whole sign, but on whole sign it's in the 11th.
interesting. Well, if you think of moon in the 11th, do you have a lot of friends?
No, I'm a hermit.
Are you?
Yeah. I don't get my nemesis is a I won't say anything. Well, all I'll say is that my enemies will be my nemesis. My relationships can be my downfall. It's
Mm,
tied to my Mercury and my Moon.
huh. So
And
what do you do all day if you
so
don't have
I'm
friends?
better off. I'm sorry.
What do you do all day if you don't have friends?
All I got is people like you and people on my Facebook. And I had a very close friend come and visit me um, this week from Louisiana. Oh, you know, he's a guy, you know, so, and he debates just like I do. So, anyway, I mean, we're not gonna believe anybody anymore because that guy says that we die, you know.
So did you
So
guys
check
debate
that
all
out.
all the whole visit?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Now he's a real evangelical Christian charismatic kind of guy, you know. But we get along. I said, well, I don't believe that, and but he knows our family goes back a long time in the funeral business,
Huh.
and
You must have a good composite chart.
anyway, yeah, web must, I guess. I told him about astrology, and he he didn't criticize me.
Hmm.
He didn't, you know, he didn't criticize me.
How
I
did
said,
you
well, the 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 stars in the heavens declare the glory of whatever, you know.
how did you find astrology anyway?
It was somebody gave me the Pluto book.
Oh, the Pluto book. This book?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, Jeff Green. He
And I
loves
used
astrology.
that as a recipe. Yes, I used that as a recipe to get past but a bunch of hangups because Pluto in the ninth house is you're basically going to get reamed on your prejudice.
Interesting. So you were
Yeah.
dealing with like
And
religious
so,
traumas and things like that.
mhm, right. And I, I'm not here because I even asked my friend, I said, why would you evangelize? What's the purpose? I mean, if somebody asks me, knocks on my door or something, and they ask me questions, then I have permission to say my opinion. But I'm not going to go out there and think everybody's going to think the way I think.
Yeah. So at what age did you find astrology?
I That was around 2000. Yeah, so that was what what is it?
24
20
years ago.
24 years ago.
Wow, interesting. Were you already married at the time?
Yes. I
Oh,
was married to Sherry, and then uh I learned in Jeffrey Wolf's Green book on Uranus that Uranus in the eighth house is to deal with betrayal. And I'm, I mean, I've had to deal with betrayal.
really? Huh.
Now, all those people that betrayed me, I purified it. I understand it. It's in my chart. So just like Jesus on the cross, Father, they know not what they do.
Hmm.
That's just, and I still don't like the the con the belief that somebody somewhere has a plan for me. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Or whatever. Just,
Yeah, I
and
think it
so
would be hard to accept astrology if you couldn't get down with the
I'm
idea that
crazy.
there was a universal plan for you, you know?
Yeah,
Like there,
no, but see, yeah, well, how I express my Pluto and Leo in the ninth house, okay, is I got to take what I knew in the south node and move it over to the north node. Now uh hopefully it's the first house um in whole signs it's second house. I'm right on that cusp.
hmm.
And
I hate the cusps. No, I'm just kidding. In my world, there are no cusps. I've purified myself of them.
there's
No,
a lot of cussing going on.
stop cusping.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, now we're not talking to children, YouTube. We don't have nothing to do with that. No, we're
Astrology is
not.
adult school, everyone. Astrology is
Yeah,
adult
this is
school.
adult school. If anybody listening, we we're two adults talking.
That's right. We are adult.
We
Yeah.
didn't say no bad words. We didn't say no bad words, and I didn't hit on her.
Yet. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not wearing enough makeup today. You probably wouldn't even think.
Oh no, you look pretty. You
I
look
am on
pretty.
I am on a slender bender though.
You really?
Yeah, I lost 8 pounds.
Oh, you
I
did.
did.
Well, now
Not that being slender is
people in the
better.
audience.
It's not better than being
No,
full
it's just
figured.
it's healthy. But everybody should like this YouTube because she earned it.
Yeah, well, I got hypnotized, so I can't say I really earned it. But okay, I have to tell you, Saturn being on my moon by transit, I hated how heavy I felt, and so I'm being purified by that hatred of feeling heavy, and so I am
Yeah,
got hypnotized, and I feel much lighter.
that's great.
Yeah, no, I
You're right. I If I could find a really, really, really great astrologer that knows hypnotism, oh, so good.
Yeah, that would be cool. An astrologer who knows hypnotism. Yeah, that would be good. Well, we have 4 minutes. Are there
Yeah.
anything else on your list to talk about today?
I'm sorry.
Since we have 4 minutes, I just wanted to say, is there anything else on your list that you want to talk about today?
Well, no, we were just talking about, you know, just go back. Purification. When we say purification, it's not because you're unclean. Okay, it's just in the way of your success. And
Interesting.
sometimes the only way to do that is write down what you hate, you know, and just say, I don't believe necessarily in forgiveness, but as long as I can understand, you know, then you just say like Jesus, they know not what they do. I don't know what I'm doing. They don't know what they do. They didn't mean it on purpose.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I love this lesson. I know that we kind of meandered a little bit, but I hope if there's anything people take from today is that if you do have Saturn moon by transit, which is supposed to be one of the hardest transits in the world, it's called the Sati Sati, which in India they perseverate on the Saturn moon transit and say that it's one of the hardest 7 year periods of your life, and they scare everyone with it. But if you are in a Saturn moon, just look at it as purification through what you don't like. That's the lesson of today, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I sure thank you to everybody and you, Andy. Please like, subscribe, and comment, please, because that's how we know if we're touching any agrees with us or disagrees or whatever.
So Kim, starting in October, I took a job, so I'm not going to be able to make a lot of YouTube videos. But do you think you would ever make YouTube videos and share them with us on your own?
Mhm. Right,
Sorry, you're breaking up.
right, and don't, that's all right. I'm
So,
breaking up now.
yeah, because I love hearing your thoughts. I love hearing you
Okay, let
talk.
me get closer, closer. Oh, baby. Yeah, hang on just a second. Let me get closer to the Wi-Fi. Sorry, everybody. Can are you getting me now?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. But like um I've studied a lot of charts. I've proven it for myself. Okay. And I can tell you where you're probably gonna fail. I know mine, so I'm careful around it. Okay.
Is that your point of nemesis?
Yeah. Mhm.
Well,
Right.
I just want to
But
know.
also I deal with other Arabic parts, such as necessity or spirit or whatever.
I just want to know if you'll make some videos talking to us on your own because I love hearing you talk.
Well, thank you. I take that as a compliment and thank you very much.
Well, consider making some videos and posting them, and maybe I'll respond to you when I have time. If you
Yeah.
talk to me, I'll talk back to you or something.
Oh, okay. And I just want to tell the audience that I also do uh uh EA astrology. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, Kim does readings. He does a lot of different kinds of readings. He has like asteroid
Right.
readings,
Right.
nemesis readings. He does evolutionary astrology. He's very wise. So, um,
Right. I mostly want to be able to you if you ask a question, then you get a practical strategy from it.
yeah. Well, and you're very magical. You're into sigils and things like that. So you do a lot of magic in astrology as well.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Kim. Well, I love you so much. I don't hate you, and I'm not going to purify purify myself of you is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah. We got a good composite chart.
I know we're friends. I'm one of your moon in the 11th people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, now I sure appreciate this time.
I know I love talking to you. It was with mixed emotions that I took this job in October, but I got
No.
I got a budget ledger I'm looking at, and that's what I'm looking at. So literally. So
Well, astrology's a business and it's got overhead.
that's true. It's true. All right, well, I'll see you Thursday for the Valens group, if not before.
Yeah, yeah, my eyes, I've gotten uh uh eye problems, and that's why I'm wearing glasses.
Oh,
And I've got an infection.
oh.
Anyway.
All right, well, I'll see you as soon as the stars align and let us see each other again.
Okay, all right.
All right. Love you, Kim.
Goodbye,
All right,
everybody.
bye.